Welcome into the Morning Five, Bucknutters. I am editor Dave Biddle, joined by publisher Dan Rubin. And Dan, obviously the big story in Buckeye Nation right now is the fact that Mike Mitchell is transferring from Ohio State. The freshman linebacker is leaving, and this is a story we've known about for quite some time. We were asked by a family member not to say anything, but Mike Mitchell is leaving. Your reaction?
As you mentioned, have known about it for some time, so my reaction right now to the news coming out is not as shocked as I was when we learned about it. I'm hoping in the long run we're still able to tell this story. We've got a lot of interesting facts on this story. One of our staffers is pretty close to it, but we're going to respect the wishes of the family, as you mentioned, and hopefully come out with that a little bit later. But it's disappointing because of the hype that, I don't even want to say hype, because of the expectations we had for Mike coming in. I mean, there were a lot of people that thought Mike would get on the field as a true freshman. He was that impressive as a high school kid on the field, and if you remember correctly, that he blew up at the combines. He was arguably the best athlete in the SMART training leading into his career at Ohio State. So it's very disappointing, but it certainly makes it clear now why Urban and the staff are on the podium talking about how important this new crop of linebackers is coming in this year, because the trend of attrition has unfortunately kept up.
Yeah, he was the MVP of Nike's The Opening. I mean, that's
right.
the elite of the elite, and he's there with the getting the MVP of that. I mean, some people are going to say he's a combine warrior. I don't know if that's fair. I think he was still a young guy, and he still has a lot of football ahead of him wherever he transfers. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah, you certainly wouldn't want to quit on an athlete that's that talented at age 18.
Exactly.
So I get combine warrior, and I understand the label, but this would be like combine superhero. Wasn't. I mean, he won it. So you're talking about every high school football player in the country, and he had the best, digits. So he's definitely going to be worth the wait for someone. I wish it would have worked out in Ohio State, but it's the nature of the beast, Dave. You know this. If you hit it about 50 to 55, 60% of your recruits, you're usually doing well. And for Ohio State, Mike Mitchell's no question. It was a miss.
It's amazing the amount of linebackers that have transferred or left the program for whatever reason. Some guys have had their career ended due to injuries, such as Scott McVay, and hopefully everything works out for Mike wherever he goes. But for the Buckeyes, I want to push this forward, look into 2014 and going forward. They have Curtis Grant back at the middle linebacker spot. They have Raekwon McMillan. They have some guys on the outside they like Trey Johnson. They think Josh Perry's coming around. I think they had Mike Mitchell pegged as a middle linebacker. Maybe he could move down to D-end. I don't see this being a huge loss because I don't think he was going to play, at least for the time being. Now, who knows down the road it could be a huge loss. I don't think in 2014 this is a huge loss, Dan.
Yeah, this is venturing into the information that we had that we're going to reveal at some point, but I don't think that the staff is caught off guard at all by this. I'll just say that. We have speculated, and the message boards have speculated about Mike's role. You haven't heard anyone on the staff do that, and they don't do that for anyone for that matter, but I'll just say this. I don't think this caught the staff off guard at all. I think their plans for linebacker are still intact based on where they were a few weeks ago. Like I said,
I think that's well said. Yeah, I think that's very well said.
I don't want to go too far on it, but I don't think you're going to catch the staff off guard with something like this. That's just my opinion.
Switching gears just a little bit, Mickey Mitchell, Mike's younger brother, is committed to Ohio State in basketball. And for those that are wondering, is he pretty good at basketball? Well, he's a 5-star, just a 5-star. Yeah. Number 5 small forward in the country in the 2015 class. And even our Alex Gleitman has now switched his pick to SMU. Sounds like Mickey Mitchell might not come to Ohio State, but some people think he still might come to Ohio State. Your thoughts? Do you think there's still a chance, Dan, that Mickey Mitchell will play basketball for Thad Matta?
Do I think there's still a chance? I do. I know that Mickey was very enamored with the program. I don't think he committed just because his brother was here. Obviously, that didn't hurt, but Ohio State's basketball team can stand on its own merit. The relationships they developed were their own, so I still think they have a chance. It's funny that you say SMU, Dave, because when this came up and we were discussing it the other day, I said to you right away once I heard this that SMU was going to be involved in this just because SMU has become the new one shot, one stop, and you're done type program with Larry Brown down there. And with the Texas hook, I'm not surprised, but we're not sure exactly where the stands are that. We're hoping to get that information with the basketball team, but my guess is that is another domino that's going to fall. Let's just hope it falls the right way.
And the final piece of information we're going to discuss today, Bill Kurelich's wildly popular What I Am Hearing, It is on the site right now for our subscribers. 2015 linebacker Nick Connor from Dublin, Scioto, right here in Columbus, number 10 inside linebacker in the country in the 2015 class. He's going to visit Ohio State tomorrow, Dan. He's hoping to get an Ohio State offer. We'll see what the Buckeyes do there, and we'll keep you updated. If you're a subscriber, make sure you check out Bill's What I'm Hearing. He also has an update on four-star wide receiver Van Jefferson from the Nashville area. Has a very funny quote, in my opinion. He just wants to go where they just throw the ball all the time. So that's basically the sales pitch he's getting from Ohio State. So some good stuff there from Bill Kurelic and What I Am Hearing. If you're not a subscriber, try our 7-day free trial.
Yeah, and also it's important to note, Bill was at the Touchdown Banquet Club of Columbus over the weekend, their ceremony. He was the only reporter there. He has video interviews coming up this week, exclusives with Nick Connor, James Daniel, Sean Crawford, Sam Hubbard, Kyle Berger, and Kyle Trout. So that's can't-miss stuff coming up on the site this week.